The reason for the House Judiciary Committee hearing on April 9th and the gift they gave us. I will explain this in steps. The reason for the House Judiciary Committee hearing on what they misleadingly referred to as white nationalism, but which is accurately named the House Judiciary Committee hearing against white identity, is to persuade the population to accept extralegal and even illegal steps against those in the white positive sphere. What part of the population are the anti-white elites concerned with? They are concerned with the white middle class. Why? The reason they have to persuade the white middle class to accept extralegal and even illegal steps against those in the white positive sphere is that the white middle class represents a power that is greater than that wielded by the anti-whites, even the anti-white elites. The anti-whites need to convince the white middle class to accept extralegal steps, illegal steps, and even the revocation of rights from white people, because white identity is a, quote, national threat and, quote, an urgent crisis. National threats and urgent crises justify unusual measures, but the anti-white elites need the theater of law and order by way of congressional hearings because they know that the white middle class will revoke its allegiance from a system and an authority that operates outside of law and order. Whites crave order, and few things unsettle us more than blatant tyranny. As the white middle class represents a power that is greater than the anti-white elites, the anti-whites must propagandize them into believing that law and order persists, because if they don't, they cannot take extralegal and illegal action against those in the white positive sphere without running the risk of the white middle class looking elsewhere for leadership, elsewhere for entities in which to invest their allegiance. That is all you need to know about why those hearings were held and what the anti-white elites want for you as someone who serves white well-being. If there is any doubt about who and what the anti-whites seek to persecute, I will clear it up. They do not oppose white supremacy. They do not oppose white separatism. They do not oppose white nationalism. They oppose white people. And that is made clear by a quote from this hearing. Quote, white identity groups, not white supremacy, not white separatism, not white nationalism, but, quote, white identity groups have a long history of oppressing racial and religious minorities and promote individual expression of violence with the aim of preserving white racial and political hegemony. So, according to the anti-white elites, white identity is synonymous with oppressing racial and religious groups and promoting violence. white identity is the same as oppression and violence. Is that clear enough for you? Do you need to hear anything else to understand their motives and objectives? Merely acknowledging that we are a people and that as a people we have interests equates, in the mind of an anti-white, to oppression and violence. If it is moral to oppose oppression and violence, then it follows, by anti-white standards, that it is also moral to oppose white identity. There are several layers of the anti-white narrative sewn deeply into that entire quote. First, never use the word minority relative to non-white people. Anti-whites want non-white people called minorities because it makes non-white people appear to be in a vulnerable state, which elicits sympathy and deference from white people. White people are the minority of the world and rapidly becoming minorities in the countries we created. I also want to mention the part of the sentence, quote, preserving white racial and political hegemony. This sentence reveals a now ridiculous farce of the anti-white narrative, which is that white people control our civilization and that we organize our societies to benefit ourselves. Uttering that statement could not have been more farcical, as it was made in the midst of a hearing in which the interests of white people could not have been more absent, and the absence of our power more salient. But all that here seems objectionable conceals a powerful treasure for us. The anti-whites that run the giant tech companies and dominate the government have the ability and exercise that ability to observe the lives of the white working class, the topics they discuss online, the stories they share, the angst they express in their social media messages. The tech companies and the government have predictive tools to anticipate a person or a people's decisions based on their current and past decisions. What we deduced with logic, that the many hundreds of millions of working-class whites across Western civilization do not want their countries to become something other than they have made them, that they do not want to live in anti-white, non-white environments. The anti-white elites revealed that all of this is indeed not a speculation, or just a deduction, or even a hope, but with their unblinking tools of observation, they have revealed that it is all fact. Now, more than ever, and increasing with every passing day, our white brothers and sisters hearken to the message of white well-being. Take heart in this revelation. Tomorrow belongs to us.